أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum dear students. I hope all of you and your family members will be doing fine and enjoying good health. And I would like to share some significant information with you all as the midterm exams of some of these semesters which are ongoing, they are going to be initiated by the end of this month. So probably by the mid or by the end of next month, your final term exams will be called for. So I advise all of you to keep on preparing for your different courses which you are going through right now in a proper and efficient way. And if you have any queries regarding my course, I would always be there to address your queries, and I would love to answer your questions. So moving forward, in our today's lecture, we will continue with our previous discussion about the Chinese diplomatic discourse. In the last lecture, we discussed about the development discourse in the Chinese construct of diplomatic discourse, and in today's lecture, we will talk about the second discourse which has been incorporated in the Chinese diplomatic discourse through the speech acts of the President Xi Jinping, that is the security discourse. So in our today's lecture, we will try to explore the security discourse of China, and if we will have some time left, we will have some talk about the linguistic strategies employed by the Chinese to effectively implement its diplomatic discourse to the outside world. So without wasting further time, we will start having discussion about the security discourse. So in the introductory lecture, we had a very brief discussion about what is a security discourse. So in our today's discussion, we will talk about this aspect of Chinese diplomatic discourse in a comprehensive way. So security discourse is one type of speech act which serves to raise the significance of security issues. So first of all, it is one of the many speech acts, or we can simply say that through speeches or through statements, the leadership of different countries around the world, they try to raise the significance of certain issues to the outside world, to the international community, so that a proper policy or a resolution can be adopted, can be reached in a consensual way. So here security discourse means first of all, it's one of the many types of speech acts which are employed to raise the importance of certain issues, and in this particular context, we are talking about the security issues. And another aspect is to legitimize the imposition of harsh government measures to defend the national security. So we are familiar with so many situations around the world that in certain cases states employ harsh, or we can say the hard power instruments to defend their um, territorial integrity, or in order to protect their security issues, they employ harsh measures. So through speech acts, when we talk about like defending such initiatives in the diplomatic discourse, the statements and the speeches are being employed by the leaderships of countries to defend their stance on those particular issues. So, looking into this picture, we can say that security is far from being. Security has become something which is far from a neutral terminology. Rather, this very term has been utilized by states, or has been employed by states, by different states of the world in a different way, just to protect their own ends, just to protect their own interests. So it is the security has become, we can say, a subjective term rather than a neutral term. It has been used, it has been employed by different states in a different way, just to protect their own and just to protect their own interest. So security discourse has become one of the common theme of the diplomatic discourse employed by different countries of the world, and China is no exception in this regard. And if we happen to look at the speeches made by the Chinese President Xi Jinping, we will come to know that this is one of the main things which has been repeatedly emphasized in the speech acts of the President Xi Jinping, to highlight the significance of these issues. So, when we thoroughly look at the speeches made by President Xi Jinping, we come to know that the security discourse is comprised of two sub-discourses, and these are the strategic partnerships and new security. So these are the two discourses which are prevalent in the Chinese diplomatic discourse regarding security discourse. Okay, first here we will talk about what is the strategic partnership. So first of all, it is noteworthy to mention over here that the language used to refer to another country or another party can carry different meanings and values. So when states employ a language to another party, or when a particular country addresses something to another country in the world, and the language which is employed for that, it carries different meanings and values. For different states, the language employed by a country carries different meaning and different values. For example, when we talk about the word partner, it means friendly relations. When a state in the world address another country while having or formulating its relationship as a partner, that means those countries are having or enjoying a cordial or healthy relationship or friendly relationship. Meanwhile, competitor, the very word competitor, it suggests a relationship which can be defined by conflict and competition. So when word competitor is used for another country by one country, that means those countries are going through a sort of conflictual and competition conflictual, and their relationship is marked by conflict and competition rather than cooperation. We can take the example of India and China in the Asian continent, particularly in the South Asian continent. India has always been enjoyed the status of a big brother in the South Asian continent, but the recent development shows that China has been successfully establishing its influence in this very region along with other areas of the Asian continent. So their relationship is will be described as a competition rather than cooperation. On the other hand, when we talk about China-Pakistan relationship, it is described as a strategic partnership. It is described with the word partner because they have been enjoying very healthy and friendly relationships since the start of since the establishment of both the countries as sovereign independent states. On the other hand, the term enemy implies a desire to overthrow or destroy. So the word, the meaning which is attached with the word enemy, they are quite the opposite of a partnership. The meaning which are associated with partnership, and this aims to overthrow or destroy because coexistence appears to be impossible. So in the wake of lacking of coexistence of different countries into the prevailing system, the the term enemy refers to the overthrow or to destroy the country because those countries cannot live in coexistence. So these speech acts employed by leaderships of different countries, they carry different meanings, and they are attached with different meanings and different values. So they are being given a lot of significance or value in the diplomatic discourse. So now we will talk about some of the examples of the strategic partnership through the speeches of the President Xi Jinping. And if we closely look at the speeches made by President Xi Jinping in the past few years, and we would come to know that we would found different number of levels regarding the partnership the China is having with another countries around the globe. So different terminologies have been utilized by President Xi Jinping to demonstrate the different number of levels of partnership, and these are for instance the security partnership, a strategic partnership of coordination, a partnership of joint investment, and above all a comprehensive strategic partnership. So the usage of all these terminologies in the speech acts of the President Xi Jinping, they demonstrate the emphasis which China places on the strategic or the security discourse while formulating its relationship with other countries around the world. Okay, now we will talk about another significant theme which is highly emphasized in the security discourse of China, that is the new security, the concept of new security, which has been propagated or which has been introduced by the Chinese government. So basically, this new security concept is a new form of security arrangement where relations between countries are founded on the basis of what can be called anarchy. So, being a student of politics and international relations, we are familiar with the very concept of anarchy, and in its simplest way, we can say that anarchy is the absence of or it's eventually, in one word explanation, it is the lawlessness. And states around the world are operating in a system which is marked by anarchy, where there is no central power or there is no central authority to manage the affairs of the system, as it is the case with the sovereign independent state, where the government machinery is authorized or state is authorized to employ the power, or it enjoys the facility of a proper force to regulate the affairs of the state and maintain law and order within the territory of the country. But when we talk about the international system, it is something which lacks the central power authority to control the system or to regulate the affairs of the system in a befitting manner. And the other thing is it's about the nature of the today's world. Today's world is described as a complex interdependence, and tomorrow represents a growing danger which threatens to upend this situation, which threatens to finish this existing situation of complex interdependence. So these keeping in view these ground realities of the international system, Chinese government has proposed a new concept of security, where the law and order and the international peace, which is one of the objectives of the international politics, can be maintained. So China has proposed a new security arrangement and a new model of international relations, which is uniquely able to solve the problems threatening the present order. So Beijing's new security, the concept of new security is collective security, which is based on three major points. These three major points are intensifying cross-border threats, and the second one is the limits to self-defense, and the last one is sovereignty and responsibility. So all these three various aspects have been accommodated in the Chinese new concept of security, which is based on the collective security. And we can see that when we talk about the first element to intensify cross-border threats, that is intended to highlight or to raise the significance of the security issues which should be dealt with properly, or which should be uh, handled in a better way. And the second one is the limits to self-defense. States operating in this system, as we just mentioned, that the term security is not a neutral term. So it is a relative phenomena, in a sense that as we can simply explain that one man's security is another man's insecurity. So when one states try to uh, put more and more emphasis on its self-defense, and they try to make them more and more, when one state try to make itself more and more strong and powerful, that makes other countries more concerned and feel threatened by the rising power of one country. So one state's security becomes another state's insecurity. So they have come up with the idea to place some limits to self-defense, so that this uncertainty which prevails in different countries, that element can be reduced to some extent. And the last one is the sovereignty and responsibility, that the sovereignty of all the states, whether small and large, it should be protected, and all the states should act responsibly in the international system. And it has become one of the key principles of Chinese foreign policy, that China is a responsible state, which portrays China as a responsible state. So overall, we can say that this model of international new security in the international relations is defined by an end to war and the search for new path to build relation between nations. So this is one of the attempts made by the Chinese to put a full stop to the occurrence of war in the years to come, and to find out new ways to build relations between nations, so that war can be averted or war can be avoided. So one of the objectives behind this new security paradigm is that countries should no longer view other countries as rivals, but as partners. So, and we are familiar with the differences which states have regarding social systems with other countries' social system and political systems. They should work together to achieve the ultimate victory, rather than fighting for the dominance of their social values or their political systems. It's better to achieve, they should work, they should strive hard to achieve the ultimate victory. So this is the new security concept which has been put forward by the Chinese government as an alternative to the existing concept of security, which requires states to invest a lot of resources on their security. And because the states are operating in a system which is regulated, which is governed by anarchy and absence of central power authority, So states strive to achieve more and more power just to protect themselves. So that is the key point or key that is the crux of the existing security concept. And the Chinese have came up with a new we can say the concept of security, which is based on like collective security. So finally, the frequency with which these discourses feature in the Chinese president's speeches is a means of reproducing or reinforcing these discourses, of implanting them in the minds of listeners around the world, and perhaps of subliminally persuading them to adopt similar views. So when we find out the repetition of these discourses in the speech acts of the President Xi Jinping, we can anticipate or we can elaborate that we can understand that it is one of the attempts made by the Chinese governments to reinforce these ideas in the international audience, or to persuade or to invoke other states to follow these ideas. So in the Chinese diplomatic discourse, this discourse of security, and particularly the new security propagated by or propounded by the Chinese leadership, has become a main feature of Chinese diplomatic discourse. And Chinese government places a lot of emphasis on this new security concept in its diplomatic discourse, which can be found in the repetition of which can be found or which can be demonstrated through the repetition of this very discourse by the Chinese President Xi Jinping in its speeches. So that's all for today's discussion. I hope you would have understood most of the things which we have discussed today. And in the next lecture, we will talk about the linguistic strategies which are being employed by the Chinese government to achieve its ultimate objective. So if you have any queries, please write me in the WhatsApp group, and I will also share the link of this lecture on the LMS system as well. So wish you all the best, stay safe and healthy. See you for the next lecture, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.